another button of his khaki uniform shirt. Nobody knew how he got there or where he belonged, but there he was, making quite an impression on everybody. And Tallulah would challenge everyone to drink with her so that she'd stand up and spread her legs far apart and toss down this straight gin without removing it from her lips, make an awful face, and then say, "Divine." At one point, finally, about Martha, she took a look at Martha Graham and sort of her eyes became slits, as she examined this very closely. And just to us in her little group, she said, "That's the only woman who was in New York when I got here." And I guess she meant that they were both elderly, but that Martha was older, the older of the two. I'm sure that's what she meant, right? Finally, Menotti came over and he said, "There's no more gin." Well, again, she would not be defeated. She said, "Well, we'll go to my house and continue the party at my house. I've got a new swimming pool, and I want everybody to see my swimming pool, and we'll all jump in starkers." She also talked about the copper pipes that she'd had to put into the pool, and she said, "You'll never know how expensive those copper pipes were." Sure enough, we got into two cars, a group, about 8-10 people, I guess, and we drove over to the Bankhead house, which was in Bedford Village at that time. The place was called Windows, a very beautiful sort of white, summery, colonial-type house on a big green plot with big trees all around it, Lovely, lovely place. We went in. The men were taken to a bedroom upstairs, and a pile of trunks, swimming trunks, was thrown onto the bed. And we got ourselves into whatever we could get into. It was a motley-looking crew by now. And we all were out back to walk down to the pool. And the first thing Tallulah did was to show us her poppy bed. She seemed to be very proud of that. I don't know quite, but she said that the poppy was her favorite flower. And then she said gladiolas must be frustrated because by the time the blossoms at the top of the stalk come out, the blossoms at the bottom of the stalk are dead. That's frustration. There were two little white dogs running around, too, having a good time playing on the grass. And all of a sudden, everybody jumped again because she shouted, "Leave the dogs alone." They were making love on the path in front of us, and some nervous guest had run forward to try to separate them, you see. So she said, "The only trouble with animals is people." So now we're at the pool. There's a bar at the pool side, and there's a white telephone. And somehow she had reason to quote from, of all things, the Bible. And a guest had the gall to correct her and say she was not correct. And she said she was correct. And he said she wasn't. So she got on the telephone and she called up to the house and got her maid and said, "Gloria, be a sweetie pie and bring me my Bible." So standing waist deep in the water, her wet hair stuck to her forehead, her nose, her cheeks, and her chin, the martini glass in one hand, the Bible in the other hand. She gave this reading from the Bible that just stopped everybody. Suddenly the whole atmosphere became magical. But what a weird scene that was. So after the swim, we were back up at the house, dried off and dressed, and gathering in the sort of vestibule there at the bottom of this interior stairs, waiting to make our proper goodbyes and thank yous and so forth. We didn't want to go, of course, until she appeared. So there she was in a very few minutes at the top of the stairs, radiant. The maid had fixed her, I'm sure. Her hair was dry. Her face was beautifully made up. She was in a long white flowing housecoat with a high princess collar, full skirt, clutching a little white handkerchief in her hand. And she was thoroughly poised and in control, actually ladylike, after 7 hours of drinking straight gin. It was unbelievable. And this transition was just as thoroughly convincing as that sort of non-stop campy prima donna image that one usually gets from her, you know. So then, to my utter surprise, when she got down to our level and was smiling and bowing and extending her hand, she reached down by me as we were walking toward the door and took my hand in hers and squeezed it. And she continued to hold my hand. It wasn't an obvious gesture. She did it just sort of privately. And I couldn't figure it out. I still don't know what that meant, unless it was simply that, well, you were here and you didn't join in the conversation very much, but I want you to know that your presence was felt, you know, something rather touching, really. And all during this farewell scene, when people were trying to, you know, thank her and be quite proper, there was a running counterpoint from a minor bird in a large cage just outside the front door. And this bird was just repeating two words, probably its favorite words, over and over and over in this high nasal voice. And these words were, "Fuck off." Fuck off, in that terrible, terrible sound. And people were saying, "Oh, it was so lovely to be in your home, Tallulah. Fuck off, thank you, darlings. Fuck off. So nice to see you, Tallulah. I'll call you next week. Fuck off. Oh, thank you and goodbye, darlings. Fuck off, do call me. Fuck off. I'll be seeing you. Fuck off, thank you all, darlings. Fuck off, goodbye. Fuck off, thank you and goodbye. Fuck off.
I'll be seeing in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the light is blue, I'll be looking at the moon, but I